What's up, y'all? Thank you for joining me. Today, what we're going to be doing is painting our control arms and putting them onto the E46 and probably putting the wheels back on and dropping the thing down because we're going to have to get into the garage for paint. But I just got back to control arms from a little shop a couple towns away. I had to get the bushings pressed into the control arms. I tried to reuse the old ones and they were all torn, and the whole front end was all wobbly. Like, it really wasn't a stable front end, and this is all-wheel drive car. I really want it to be like solid down to the ground, nice, like road hugger. So did the tie rods on this, and that still didn't remedy it. And what it was the control arms, all the bushings were bad on it, I think. So I just had, actually, when I bought this car, I got some new control arms in a box, like brand new control arms. So just went and bought some bushings, and it was like 20 bucks. I have some new control arms and new bushings. So that will tighten up the whole front end, at least hopefully. So what we're gonna do first before we put in the control arms is sand them all down, give them a nice little coat of primer, and paint them. So the reason I want to paint these is, as you can see, these are brand new, and that's real bad. I don't know why, but that one's not too bad. Yeah, you get the point. There's rust forming all over this thing, and they're brand new. They've barely been exposed to the elements, so why not just scuff them up, throw a coat of primer and some paint on it. Probably won't even throw some primer on it. Yeah, I'll throw some primer on it. But I'm gonna scuff these up, paint them, and yeah, here's my shiny new bushings. That's $100 to get those pressed in, but I couldn't do it myself, so whatever. So I couldn't find my painter's tape, and what do they say about duct tape? It fixes everything. So I just kind of, everything I don't really want to paint, I'm gonna come back over here with a razor blade and trim it a little bit, but just kind of masked off everything with the duct tape. And probably just gonna take my drill and all the way over here. There's stuff everywhere, but my drill and this little wire wheel, and just scratch it up, throw down some primer, and then throw down some paint. It doesn't have to be too pretty. It's already like a textured, you know, cast type of whatever metal it is, so it's not going to be the smoothest finish anyways. It'll kind of be a crinkle anyway, so that'll be plenty. Just scratch it up with the drill and the wire wheel cleaner, and then throw some primer and some paint on it. So that's good enough. I'm not really going to spend too much time on it. Just a quick little scuff over it, just make sure the paint sticks a little bit better. Gonna throw some primer on it just so the paint sticks to the primer a little better. I think it might chip a little bit on this surface material, so the primer probably will help it attach a little bit better. But just a quick little 2 coats or something like that with primer. But you don't need a drill and wire cleaner to do this. You could do this with, or wire wheel, whatever you call it. You could do this with just sandpaper, whatever you have laying around, Scotch Brite. You could even, if the paint is a little smoother than this, you could even take like, your mom might be mad at you, but you could take a bunch of sponges and you could just use the back like abrasive side to scratch on paint. if you need to do that. But yeah, just anything to get the paint scratched down, leveled down. This was like super rusty before. I was able to clean it up a decent amount, but this side, it just won't clean up, so whatever. It's gonna be another car anyway, so it doesn't need to look perfect, but as long as it looks better than just completely rusted. Because I think if I would have attached these on and put these in, drove the winter, these would have been completely rusted by the time all the snow melts. So yeah, what we're going to do next is we're going to hang these up somewhere. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to hang these up somewhere and we're going to throw some primer and some paint on. So I decided I'm just going to take out my dusty engine crane and found all this white stuff all over it. I have no clue what it is. It's like, oh, I think it's pollen. Yeah, it's definitely pollen. But anyways, got these hanging up here. So I'm gonna set the camera up and just throw some paint on it. Okay, so we got our first coat of primer on there, and it's already looking 10 times better than it did before. This is the one that was all rusty. So unfortunately I ran out of primer. Oh, if I can grab it all out. This is pretty much the only one I could find. I'm going to go ahead and go into my garage and try. I have a little what's it called? It's like it pops onto the top of the can and you just press it like a trigger, like a bigger trigger. And it just makes painting easier. It's kind of like a gun, so like a paint gun. I'm gonna grab that, and I think there may be a can of primer on that, and if there is, then I'll probably shoot this with one more little layer of primer. But if not, then I'm probably just going to throw some paint right on top of this. So this is what I was talking about. It's like a little gun, and pretty sure this is clapped. So no primer in here either. So I'm just going to throw this onto my paint, wherever that went. But yeah, I mean, I think one coat of primer will be fine. So can's completely empty. You can go ahead and throw that over there, but looks pretty nice. Not too bad. It's a little bit of a navy-ish color. I think it actually, it's different than the color I thought it was. The color I thought was in that can had a little bit of a metallic to it, but nevertheless, it looks really good. That was the piece that was all rusty. I mean, it looks great. So we're just gonna let these dry. Good thing it's really windy outside. So these should dry fairly soon. So now all we have left to do is install them. So finally we got these control arms on. Took a lot of wiggling around, figuring out which bolts needed to go on first, but they look pretty nice up in there. Nice and beefy, a little bit more beefy than the stock ones. And they're a free upgrade, so that's nice. Starting to get a little dark, and I should have took my dog for a walk already, but what I'm gonna do is try to throw these wheels on real fast and drop this down, and I think that'll be it for this video. So if you'd like to check it out, there will be another video that I'll be dropping probably tomorrow, and that video will be on the headers that I just installed, and I'm about to do a first startup with those headers right now after I get these wheels mounted up. But please leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel. This is just the early stages of this build, and it's honestly going to be something special.
On that beat, going crazy.